Diabetes is a debilitating disease that affects 3.4 million people in Canada and is estimated to grow over time. Diabetes is associated with high uncontrollable blood sugar levels and is accompanied by extreme thirst, fatigue, blurred vision, numbness in the toes and fingers, and increased infections. Darcy, a woman whose father was diagnosed with diabetes, was kind enough to share her father's story with us.
Yeah, sure. So there are actually a few people in my family who have diabetes, but the one that's closest to me is my father. And we're not sure exactly how long he's had diabetes, but he was diagnosed about 10 years ago.
Okay, so has that led to any lifestyle changes?
It's certainly, he was really surprised when he found out. There wasn't actually a push for his diagnosis or anything. So when he first found out, it was quite a shock. And he has made a number of lifestyle changes, most notably cutting down on his sugar intake, which was pretty difficult for a fellow who had a sweet tooth.
Ever been an incident or a story that really impacted him or you?
Emotionally, he would say that he hasn't been affected by diabetes at all, but I do recall times when he would get really, really frustrated, especially at family occasions where we'd have birthday cake and he'd want some and he'd want to load it up with ice cream too, or around Christmas time or Easter, other family holidays when there'd be a lot of baked goods around or a lot of sugary treats, and he would get angry, to be honest, angry at the disease, angry at himself for not having the restraint to stay away from it too. So what would happen from time to time is he would just throw caution to the wind and eat a lot of sugar, a lot of stuff that he shouldn't be eating, and double or triple up on his medication, which is metformin.
How does that impact you and the rest of the family?
We feel bad. We try to be respectful and keep that temptation away from him. We also get pretty concerned because he does not monitor regularly, and we're afraid that could lead to other complications, especially to do with his sight, or especially also to do with nerve pain in his hands and feet in particular.
Because of the complications associated with high blood sugar, people with diabetes need to monitor their blood sugar levels. This is done using the skin prick method, where they have to prick their finger to draw blood, put this on a device, and let it measure it. This is a highly inconvenient method of monitoring, as discussed by Darcy, which has led to many people to not monitor their health. This can lead to severe complications, and a new monitoring system should be implemented. This is where the Dermal Abyss biotechnology comes in. The Dermal Abyss is a new tattoo technology. The tattoo ink has biosensors contained within that is injected into the skin while the tattoo is being placed on the person. The sensors are able to detect blood sugar levels and changes color depending on the level sensed. This allows the person with diabetes to have the ability to constantly monitor their health without the hassle of taking blood samples all the time. Through continuous monitoring, the patient is able to keep track of blood sugar, making sure the use of their medication is used when convenient in a non-harmful way. This biotechnology will provide diabetics with a convenient and less intrusive way to monitor their blood sugar and prevent complications that arise from it. To get a professional opinion on this technology, we interviewed Kate Kennedy, a PhD candidate under the Department of Biochemistry and Biomedical Science at McMaster University. She currently works in Dr. Deborah Sloboda's lab on human metabolism development.
What kind of beneficial do you think this technology can bring to a diabetic patient?
So I think that one of the key things that's going to be important here is that if you have something that's always updating you as to your glucose levels, then it removes a burden of having to constantly be checking yourself and remembering to do that. And I think that that's probably something, I don't know personally, but I'd assume that a lot of diabetic people might not be as on top of measuring their blood glucose as maybe they should be. And so I think that having something that doesn't require them always to be constantly thinking about it would be a big benefit to them.
Are there any disadvantages of this technology being like a tattoo in general? Yeah.
So I think the main one that I'd be concerned about is the fact that since we're not measuring glucose in the blood, the interstitial glucose levels are always going to be lagging behind blood glucose levels. Even if we get this technology to be very accurate and to be able to measure specifically within the interstitial fluid what blood glucose levels are within the range we're concerned about, that's always going to be lagging a little bit behind your blood glucose levels. So it might not be alerting the patient as quickly as they could be to the changes that they should be aware of in their blood glucose.
How do you think that this technology can apply to the general public rather than just diabetic patients?
I think it honestly might be a little bit more of a fad for people who aren't interested in a specific analyte. Maybe a few people might be interested in getting a tattoo like this. I really think that the technology would have to advance quite a bit before a broader group of people would be interested in it, because I think that the reason that most people would get a tattoo would be to have the tattoo itself, and they probably wouldn't be thinking about what else they could be measuring through that. And I don't think that a lot of people are worried about measuring anything specific within their bodies, because they're probably more aware of general feelings of I don't know, how healthy they are, and not worried about specific analytes and then interpreting what those could mean for their health.
But a professional may not be thinking the same way as the public, so we asked Darcy if her dad would like the tattoo and if it would improve his health.
That's incredible. I didn't know that technology like that existed, but I absolutely think that that would improve the chances of him monitoring. I mean, he has a tattoo, so he's not shy about, having permanent ink on his skin. So I think definitely the rare times that he does monitor, it's just kind of out of curiosity. So if it was easier, it would definitely improve the chances. I think he'd be all over that.